So obviously you've been finding different ways to score goals and working on your right hand shot. So what would you say has been the biggest improvement you've made to your game since your freshman year?
I would say confidence. Being confident in my abilities and having my teammates confident in me that I can take the 1v1. Same with my coaches. Um, I never really took 1v1s. All of my goals were basically off of assists. In previous years, I mean, I'd have the occasional 1v1 there, here and there, but definitely having the confidence. And, last year I got sick in the season. I missed a game against ODU and I lost a lot of weight, a lot of muscle, and my trainers, my coaches, my teammates helped me put on the weight, put on the muscle, and just being stronger in that aspect helped me develop my confidence in my 1v1 ability and finding a dodge that works for me, all of that.
Yeah. Would you say how would you say you like work on your confidence during a season? Because I feel like it's such an interesting thing because you can lose your confidence in one play and then it takes a long time for it to come back. So how do you sort of try to maintain your confidence throughout a game or just a season in general?
We actually have people who come speak to us about techniques to you know forget the last play, and all these amazing athletes who you'll see Tiger Woods who might have a terrible hit or something like that, and then the next play or next play, the next stroke or the next hole, he gets under what he's supposed to, and it's just like you have to regroup. You have to know like, hey, like I can do it. Like I'm here for a reason, and you know reset, focus on where you are. I write things on my arms to kind of focus myself sometimes. And I just look at that and I'll look at a teammate that I trust and that knows me pretty well. Last year was Taylor or Emily Pinto, and they reassure me. But I think that it's important to find that in yourself. And I think that I definitely found it this year, being an upperclassman and getting that support from the coaches and everything and knowing what I can do. Um, but yeah, we definitely have a lot of support systems at Florida, and our coaches definitely make sure that we know, forget the last play. Even if you made a mistake, if you turn it over, if you made a terrible pass or you shot in the goalie stick, whatever, forget it. Because if it was really a problem, they'd take you out. And so they have enough confidence to leave you in there. Then I have enough confidence in myself.
Hmm. And sort of another question, sort of based on that, is obviously throughout your time in Florida, you guys have been one of the top ranked teams in the country. How does your team sort of maintain that consistency and handle the pressure of being one of the most ranked teams, and not just in your conference, but just nationally as well? Because teams are coming at you with that target on your back. I know we sort of talked about with recruiting, but as a team, I feel like it elevates another level because it's not just you they're coming after; they're coming after every single one of your teammates as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that the biggest thing is that we have each other's backs and we are all super competitive. And, um, working so hard at practice, not only are our defenders playing against top ranked attackers, but we're playing against top ranked defenders. So, we prepare ourselves enough and our coaches prepare us a lot. We, do a lot of scout, do a lot of preparing um, to face these teams. And, you know, during practice, you settle yourself and like, hey, this defender is going to beat the crap out of me, but I can take it. And just, having each other's backs. So say someone's not having a good game. Well, you know what? I'll pick up your slack. I'll do more this game. You got me next time. And it's just something that I think playing with each other every day for a whole year. And, I've played with some of them for 3 years now. And it's just like you start to learn people's ticks and, when they're upset and when they're not feeling great or stuff like that. And I think that that's really important to take into games, especially when people, we have a target on our back because we are good. And just having that support system within each other and just, being competitive and wanting to win because we don't want to go home. We don't want to lose. I mean, it happened, but we don't want
Mhm.
it to happen.
Well, I do want to ask you about last season. Obviously, what did you take away from your team's performance this past year? You guys won your third straight American championship against a really good James Madison team, but unfortunately, in the tournament, you guys got upset by Notre Dame. Sort of how
Mhm.
have you sort of processed the season that was now in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an amazing season. Um, I made new friends. I, changed in myself, but as a whole, I definitely think that us upsetting JMU in the conference tournament was a huge confidence boost for us. And we just happened to come in too late of the game in Notre Dame. I mean, obviously an amazing opponent, and they, had a more consistent game, and we didn't. We had our ups and downs, and the downs were what killed us. But I know that my teammates, put everything out there, played until the last whistle. And that's all I can ask for is just girls that'll go to the end with me. And I think that they're all amazing. And yeah, I think we did our best and we left it all out there, and that's all I can ask.
I will say I was very surprised that Notre Dame didn't host last year based on what they did last season. Maybe I know I'm a newer lacrosse fan, but that sort of surprised me. I'm curious what you sort of think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think our upset against JMU was what pushed us over the edge and gave
Hmm.
us that hosting seed, because they had beaten like those really big teams. Like JMU beat Maryland early in the year where we had lost. So I think that just gave us the edge. But yeah, they did have a great season.
Yeah, no, I thought you guys deserved to host too. I thought maybe there was another team that did host that Notre Dame could have like hosted as well. I thought I remember thinking that was pretty interesting, but
Yeah,
maybe I'm
I honestly don't
misremembered.
remember who hosted.
I know you
I
did,
just
and obviously like BC and Northwestern did, but
Yeah,
I sort of forgot some of the tournament because there were so many games. But that
there were a lot to keep track of.
I just remember thinking like, oh, I'm surprised Notre Dame didn't host. Maybe just because I'm a newer fan, so I'm trying to learn different stuff as well because it's a lot
No,
different of a tournament than other sports in college.
yeah. I was definitely surprised that they didn't host too, but I don't remember who I thought they should have hosted over,
Yeah, I don't
in
remember
my
that
opinion.
either.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't you guys. I will say that. I'm not saying that because you're on the
Thanks.
podcast. I really mean that. So.
Yeah.
But what are your team's goals and expectations for next season? Obviously, it's to make it further in the tournament and hopefully cap
Yeah.
off your senior year winning another American championship title. You don't want to know what it's like losing in one of those playoff games, I imagine.
No. No, I don't. And my sister had her experience of that this year, and I don't want it. I want to go out with a bang. I would like to say that I went 4-0 in the conference tournaments, but if it does happen, we'll bounce back. We'll come back in the tournament stronger, more prepared. But, I think coming in, our offensive unit, all I mean, three of us have been there for 3 years and we've all played um a considerable amount of time. So, I mean, we're pretty much the same. I mean, I know we lost one, very upset about it. Don't want to talk. But yeah, I just think coming in with, three girls that have played together for 3 years, coming into their last year, all of us, none of us have redshirted. I think that's going to be huge. Defense wise, I mean, we're returning a few. Sarah leaving is a huge loss. Um, but I think we'll just find a way to bounce back from who left and who's staying and whatever's happening. And I just think that next year we're definitely going to come back with the chip on our shoulder, and I think that's going to be important.
What's your thoughts on the some of the new rule changes?
Yeah, I saw those.
It's something to do
I
with the green cards, from what I was
mhm,
reading.
I think the green card thing is interesting. I am glad that they didn't switch to the 6v6 11v11. There was just no reason for that part. Um, the green cards though, I think that's going to be interesting because those fouls happen very often, and just I feel like it's going to be a man up, man down game the entire time.
Yeah.
I really don't see where it's going to be even because those fouls happen all over the field. And I know personally, I get hit a lot. I get a lot of cross checks against me, and I can't imagine all of those being green cards. So I don't know, just my opinion. I think it's a little odd, but and then I saw the 3 second change too. It's a stick and an arm. I feel like that's a lot of distance. So zones might be a very big thing next year. I don't know if we're going to go into one, but that's a lot more room that you can be away from someone. So I think zones might be a big thing next year too.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how I hope it doesn't change the game too much because I thought the rules were pretty good last year, honestly. But I understand I feel like they changed it a lot in lacrosse, so we'll see what happens, and hopefully, just it makes the game better. That's all I'm really hoping for as a fan.
I agree. Yeah, I just want it to be better. And I
Hmm.
mean, I do think that the rules were pretty good last year. I know that there was one rule change right in the middle, with cross checks to like the back area, because of the um Kinnick thing. I don't actually know what team it was. I didn't want to really get into it. And like know too much because I get hit there a lot, so I didn't want to
Yeah.
know. But that was the only rule change that I was like, is it necessary? But I guess for safety reasons it was.
Hmm.
But I think that, we're tough enough. We can handle the physicality.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
so I don't know if the green card's necessary. I mean, it's a foul, but green, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, like I said. But we're now in the segment I like to call 5 questions that have nothing to do with lacrosse. And the goal of the
Oh,
segment is hopefully get to know you a little bit more um, off the field. First one is if there was a movie made about your life, who would you want to play yourself?
oh, oh, geez. Um, um, I don't know. Margot Robbie.
That's a good answer. I would
Yeah.
say for me, probably, I can't say Ryan Gosling because we look nothing alike, but I would say probably Tom Cruise would be super cool. He's a bit older than me, so I don't know if he would be able to do it, but I think it would
Yeah.
be cool to have a movie made about my life and make it look more interesting than it actually is.
Yeah, he'll do all the stunts. Or like
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds. Your life will be way funnier than it was
exactly.
than it
Something
is.
like that.
Yeah.
What music do you like to listen to?
I'm kind of all over the place. I love, musical stuff like, you know, hairspray, stuff like that. But I also love country. I always listen to pop mixed in there. And I really enjoy like old classic rock,
Hmm.
like AC/DC, Metallica. I love those guys. Like that genre right there. But yeah, I mix it up a lot. I don't
Yeah.
really listen to one thing too often.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have a playlist for each genre of music, so whatever mood I'm into, I just
Yeah.
go to that one. So I know some people can listen to like one specific genre of music, and I can't really do that. It's just we'll get too stale after a while. So
Yeah,
definitely
it's
more.
whatever I'm feeling that week.
Yeah, I feel like this week I was feeling very probably hip hop this week for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it switches from time to time. It's pretty like I can go from Frank Sinatra to Morgan Wallen to Drake, and that's
Yeah.
like 3 different
Yeah.
like completely artists. So, but
No, I
it's
totally
normal to
agree.
me.
Yeah.
But next non-lacrosse question is what's the most underrated holiday and the most overrated holiday?
Ooh. I think Halloween is a little overrated. Um, Not when you're a kid, obviously. When
Yeah,
you
but when
hit
you're an
about
adult,
13,
you can't really do trick or treating anymore. That's the best part.
yeah, exactly. I want the candy. I want the free candy. I don't really care about anything else. And there's like no reason to dress up. Um, Underrated holiday. Oh man. Um, what's yours? I don't know.
Mine is probably like I don't know. I go back and forth on it. I would say probably like Thanksgiving, just because it sort of gets
Oh,
overshadowed by
yes.
Christmas, but it's still a very fun holiday, and I like eating food and watching football. So it's sort of it's a and there's no pressure of giving gifts too. So I'll probably say that one.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Because that's like I mean, you get the break, you get to come home,
Yeah.
and my whole family gets together, even people, even like my cousins that have moved to like North Carolina and stuff like that, they all come back, which is awesome. And I would so say Thanksgiving. Yes. That's so underrated because as soon as Halloween's over, it's like everyone's ready for Christmas.
Hmm. So, and then the most overrated for me is probably Valentine's Day, just because like I don't get it personally. It's just like
Yeah,
you should go all out every day in your relationship. That's some relationship
that's
advice
cute.
from me. You shouldn't just dedicate one February to it. So that's sort of my advice, but I don't get it. I think it's kind of overrated in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. It should be one day
Hmm.
that you get flowers and stuff. No,
Yeah.
take her on a
Should,
date once a week.
exactly, exactly. You gotta put in the effort, that's what
Yeah.
matters. So that's sort of just my advice for that. But sorry, I thought I heard something. But next non-lacrosse question is who has the best style on the team besides yourself?
Man, Emma Pinto. She had some really good style.
Yeah.
Is sadly not a part of the team anymore, but she always was rocking some really cool shoes. Like a always had different hats. She had like a bajillion hats. I swear, every day she had a new hat. Um, but I mean, have you seen Nicole Levy dress? It's like she dressed so cool every day, and she has so many different pairs of shoes. So hopefully she hooks us up next year because
Yeah.
I want some cool shoes for traveling.
Yeah. I always go with the person who's on the pod, and that's you. So I'm still sticking with you having the best style
Thanks.
on the team. So,
Appreciate that.
what's the most interesting thing you've read or seen this week?
Mm. I would say, I mean, I saw the rule changes this week, so I think that was really interesting, but that's not
Hmm.
lacrosse wise. That's not non
It can
lacrosse.
count. It can
Um,
count.
oh, I'll do another one still. I'm really into this show, The Summer I Turned Pretty, and they came out with the new episode yesterday. It's like season two is coming out, so
Hmm.
that's like the coolest thing that I've seen this week.
For me, probably just the whole movie situation with Barbie and Oppenheimer. I don't know.
Oh
Just thought it was
yeah,
pretty interesting. I want to see Oppenheimer, but it's 3 hours long, so I don't know if I can do that. But well, who knows? I'll sort of wait for the hype to die down a little bit, and I'll make that decision. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was pretty interesting, and we'll see what happens with both of those. I think ultimately, I think Barbie will probably become the highest grossing movie out of the two, just because it's more popular with everyone
probably.
else.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely goes to more, age groups, all that
Hmm.
stuff. But no, I am actually very excited to see Oppenheimer. I was planning on seeing that with my father
Oh,
quite soon,
that's cool.
actually.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we're both really into like those military like war movies.
Oh, yeah.
And for like the last, I'd say since I was a freshman in high school, every like movie like that released, we have gone and seen in theaters. So it's
Yeah.
like a tradition. So we got to see it.
Well, I like Nolan a lot. Like I saw Dunkirk when that came out a few years ago, and that was a
Yeah,
really good movie. So I feel like
that
this
was a
one's
really
gonna
good
be
movie.
good too. But I don't know, 3 hours, like I said, I'm very antsy of how long these movies are now. Like what happened to a good an hour and a half movie that doesn't take too much
I
in a day?
know.
I feel like there's so much
Oh,
scenes where you can cut out, and so that's sort of my one gripe with movies now is they're way too long. That's why I feel like no one goes to the theater as much as they used to.
no, I totally agree. I feel like there should be like an intermission halfway through. Like I need to go get like a refill of my drink, but I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Like maybe I want to check my phone. Like I don't know. But like 3 hours, like there needs to be like some type of break in there.
Now, last non-lacrosse question is, if what is there anything on your bucket list that you hope to accomplish one day?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I definitely have a lot of things that I want to accomplish, but I mean, I want to follow in my mom's footsteps and become a nurse. So I would say that's on my bucket list. And hopefully that's someone in the near future since I'm graduating.
Hmm.
But then I obviously have to go to nursing school. So yeah, I would say that's hopefully something that I accomplish on my bucket list.
That's pretty awesome. My mom's a nurse as well, so shout out to her for that.
Oh,
But
yeah, well, oh, raise them.
Yeah, I know. It's a job I could not do if I'm being honest with you. So, but yeah, I think for my bucket list, probably just traveling. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Where's the place you want to travel? Like, where's the
West
number one
Coast.
place?
I've never left the East Coast of the United States, so I probably want to go out to like
Really?
California and stuff and see what that's like, and then other parts of Canada as well. And then I would obviously like want to see like Ireland and stuff in Europe and all that. That looks like a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Okay, but like location wise, other than like America, that doesn't
Hmm.
count. Like, where's like a location like Greece, Ireland? You said, is that like where you would want to go?
Probably first would be Ireland, yeah, because I like the scenery there. It looks very cool,
Yeah.
and I think I don't know. I think I like the culture there a lot too, so I'd like to explore that. But I would say either Ireland or Australia. Australia looks super fun as well, but that's a long
Yeah.
plane ride, so I have to get myself prepared for that one.
Yeah. It's very long.
But looks cool. A lot of cool animals. That's sort of what I want to see when I'm
Yeah.
down there. Getting back to some lacrosse questions now. First one is what should be done to help grow women's lacrosse from your perspective?
Um, I think that there shouldn't be kids going straight into club. That would be my take. I think that the majority of fundamentals that I learned were through travel. And I mean, MILA is only for Maryland, it's Maryland Youth Lacrosse Association. But I know every state has something similar to that. I think that that's where kids were learning, catching and throwing, how to switch hands, how to go for ground balls. And then you get to club and it's more competitive and you're working towards collegiate play. And kids are skipping out on that and going straight into club. And I think that they're missing out on very important information. And I have definitely seen that through, working these camps and training individual girls and stuff. There's definitely some things that people are missing,
Hmm.
but, I'm happy to help. So I guess
That's
it
awesome.
works out.
And then the last question I have is any shout outs you want to give to your teammates, family members, or friends, and who should we have on the podcast next?
Ooh. Okay. Well, obviously shout out to my mom who taught me everything, and then Gabby, who, is like my rock. And my family, obviously, all of them. My aunt and uncles come to basically every game, which is crazy. They came to Florida for a few of my games. Um, and I like to shout out my coaching staff. They have put a lot of faith in me over the years, and there's no way I could repay them. And just, supporting me through, I got my tonsils taken out where I lost a lot of weight, and, them not giving up on me after I lost about 30 pounds. That was very helpful. Um, and just my whole team, man, they have had my back through everything. And I'm so grateful for so many of them, and the majority of them will be in my life, hopefully till the end, because I can't imagine life without a lot of them. And then someone to have on the podcast next. Ooh, my sister. She's very nice. Uh,
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just seeing if there's anyone in Florida that might want to come on as well. But
Oh, mm,
I'll definitely reach out though to Gabby and see if she wants to come on or not.
yeah.
I think that'll be very fun to release both your episodes the same week. So
That would be funny. Yeah, she's very busy though. She's in her master's program, so you'll have to find a good time for her.
well, I'll try to make it work, but I always will find a time. That's always my thing.
Yeah.
So with my schedule, but no, but I just want to say, Maggie, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time. It means so much to myself, and you're a great player, even better person. So I just want to let you know that. And yeah, it was great getting the chance to talk with you and learn more about your career. This was a very fun conversation.
Yeah, thank you. No, of course. I had so much fun. This is great.